Hello, hello. Good morning. Leslie Urbis here, registered dietitian and personal trainer. And today we are talking about why skipping meals leads you to excessive weight gain and emotional eating. So if you are watching, I'd appreciate a hashtag live or a hashtag replay if you do check this out. I'd love to have your biggest takeaway or question as well. If that is something that you're open to dropping below, or always feel free to reach out with a message to me. So again, my name is Leslie Urbis. I'm a registered dietitian and a personal trainer. I have been for about 12 years, and I currently am teaching what I now call the Food Emotion Code. Now, what exactly is the Food Emotion Code? We're going to dive in today. However, I want to start you with a simple exercise that I have on my LinkedIn at the same time. And I apologize for the cat in the background. My cleaners are here at the current moment, so I had to re-go into a different place. So he may be a little rambunctious. So I apologize. But nevertheless, stick with me. I promise, as we all, navigate through these times of being able to work where we want to work, we deal with the things in the background, right? Okay, anyways, so hashtag live, hashtag replay, and let's start with a visualization exercise, okay? Imagine a food you absolutely love to eat. However, you have like some sort of shame or guilt around that food when you eat it. Okay. For me, it used to be a donut, literally. So my dad and I used to call them fat pills. Fat pills were donuts, right? So imagine a food that somewhere along the line you've had some sort of attachment to. It can be a good food. It can be an okay food. It's a food that makes you feel a little bit of shame or a little bit of guilt or something along those lines when you consume that food. Okay. Think about the feelings that you have about the food. When you see the food, does it invoke emotion? When somebody offers you the food, does it invoke an even bigger emotion? Does it cause you to go running from the hills? Do you avoid like the lunch break room because of it? Think about that food. Now, keep that in your mind, but keep it on the back burner and think about an apple. When you think about an apple, what do you think about? I would assume that most people would say healthy. Most people would say good for you. People would not really have a lot of feelings behind the apple, unless there was a story with an apple, or maybe they might say fall, right? So as we have that story about an apple, there's no invoked emotion. So what would happen if the donut became just like the apple and it was just a piece of food? That's food emotion code. So now let's tie this into skipping meals or excessive weight gain and how all of these things play in emotional eating. Okay. So I see you. You're a busy business owner. You make 6 or 7 figures. You're really working on growing yourself. You are advancing yourself. You're working on your mind. But this food thing is always kind of there. So we do these things. We restrict ourselves. We do fad diets, as I like to call them. They're goodwill diets. We do these goodwill diets, these cheapo things. We buy our Louis Vuitton purses and our Rolls Royces, however, or Rolex watches, if you want to say that. However, we dumb ourselves down in our health to this goodwill diet to give us a solution. We track the calories, we track the macros, we track every little detail of what it is we're eating in order to get a result, right? Well, that causes us to have even more restriction. So if you're in the middle of your busy workday, if you're literally, trying to get more clients or you're working on doing something, your brain will push off eating as much as it can because there's a lot of rules around it. It's portion controlling, it's meal planning, it's counting the right amount of calories, it's tracking the macros, it's making sure the points are on. So your brain almost pushes it to the side because it can't grasp all those things because your brain is going into that I'm a successful, busy entrepreneur working to succeed in my goals, right? Or maybe you're just working your regular job and you take care of multiple people and you have all of these people that you're responsible for. So you put that on the back burner because it's not as important. I mean, think about it. When you look at your Rolex watch or you think about your Louis Vuitton purse, it invokes this emotion like, I am that person. I am amazing, right? Excuse me. Sorry. So as you have that good feeling about it, that's amazing. But when you think about the diet that you're following, the diet you're following is not always 100% like, I should be following this diet, right? It's like, I'm kind of in it. I'm not sure that I really want to track my macros. I'm not exactly happy with Weight Watchers. I'm not seeing the results I want. It's more of a restriction. When somebody presents me with a food that's not really allowed on my diet, I start to think, oh man, I need to change what I'm doing, right? So we invoke all these other emotions involved in this in a negative way. So when we're busy and at work, we don't tend to stop. So what that does is it shuts off our metabolism during the day. And then by the time we eat at night, it either makes our metabolism 100% plummeted, and then we shove our face full of food, emotionally eating everything that went through the day. We had stress, we had a negative day, we had other things that were involved in that process. So by avoiding the meals and by putting our business first and by not taking care of our health with what I call, the Rolls Royce food emotion code, because it's exclusive and tailored to you and something that you should be doing for yourself versus the mainstream diet, you'll get a result. You'll be able to remove the fact that just seeing the donut almost invokes you to gain weight on the scale. Okay. So all of these things combined are really some things that I want you to start thinking about. There's three big takeaways that I want you to understand from here. One, the diet that you're on may be causing you to actually maintain or gain weight in the future because one, you're crashing your metabolism. Two, because you're not dealing with the underlying issues of the food emotion. Or three, the combination of the two of them. Okay. Then to add on top of that, the second piece of this is that if you're not seeing the results you want and food is still controlling you, there's ways to look at it. When you look at a donut, does it invoke a response? When you see food you think you're not supposed to eat, does it invoke a certain response? Do you have a list of good and bad foods? Do you have a list of no, we don't touch that kind of foods? What goes on there and that creation that you've caused in your head is causing you to invoke more emotions. I don't know if you've ever heard of the double slit experiment, but Jim Fortin talks about it a lot. If you look it up, double slit experiment on YouTube, you'll see what it is. But basically what they saw was that the researchers invoked their conscious minds to get the result that they got. Guess what? If you tell yourself, if I eat this donut, I will gain weight, you will gain weight because you've told your body that. So we put all these words, good, bad, ugly, things like that, onto our foods. And if we continue to do that, we will literally start to see our weight go up when we consume those foods solely because that's what we train our body to do. Just like the third thing that I want you to take away is that when you treat yourself, you like I said, you get the Rolex watch, or you get the Louis Vuitton purse, or you go ahead and buy the Rolls Royce, whatever it may be that you're doing for yourself. As you do that for yourself, you tell yourself, I'm worthy. But then you go backwards and you pick up a fad diet or a mainstream diet and you invoke the Goodwill response. Oh, you picked this up at Goodwill. It's only $20. It doesn't matter. Or it's $40 a month. Or it's just a gym membership. So it doesn't really matter, right? The lower those prices become in your brain, the less likely you're going to follow suit and get the result that you want. So you must pay attention to those things, because what you're doing is you're telling yourself that your health doesn't matter. So during the workday, you're allowing yourself to lose your metabolism, lose the good healthy food, and lose the body that you want solely because you're not valuing your health. Now, if you're somebody who believes that you're going to retire at some point, do you want to retire driving the Bentley, or do you want to retire driving the old beat up truck that you're not sure is going to make it around the corner? That's what you're doing to yourself with your health when you're allowing yourself to go to Goodwill to get those diets instead of go to, the tip top and get that catered to you emotion code response. So what I implore you to do is keep following. I do have a free training coming up at the end of this month. But of course, if you want to jump on a call sooner, I would love to chat with you about your food emotion code and about how all of these things are stopping your metabolism, are stopping your weight loss, potentially having you see some weight gain, and they're making you live a much lower level response than you should be for this point in your life. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, please watch or please drop a hashtag live, hashtag replay, your biggest takeaway, or any questions that you may have as we start to go down this food emotion code. I plan to try to go live here on this platform at least 1 or 2 times a week to discuss more and more about food emotion code. If you know somebody that could help with this, that needs help with this, please feel free to let them know where they can find me. I would love to help everybody to break their food emotion code and no longer have that the donut is scary. Time is that. Bye. All right, guys. Happy Friday. I'll see you later.